Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss most powerful office in the Indian parliamentary system of democracy, that is Office of Prime Minister. Why it is very much powerful post? Because if you see, Office of the Prime Minister of India is comparable with the Office of President of USA. These are not my words, these are the words of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So if you see about this Prime Minister, he is the real executive. Why I am saying real executive? If you see the head of executive, there are two heads. First one is a formal or nominal head. Second one is real head. So we know formal or the nominal head of the state is the President of India. And if you see the real head, he is the Prime Minister of India. So why President is the nominal head and the Prime Minister is the real head? If you see the manner of election, President is elected indirectly by the people. Prime Minister is elected directly by the people. So because of this manner of election, here Prime Minister is called as a real executive and the President is called as a nominal or the formal executive of the state. So next, if you see, the Prime Minister is also called as head of Council of Minister. So he is a captain of the ship. He is also called as the moon among the stars. So in this way, he is the head of the Council of the Minister. And the next important one is, he is the leader of largest single party. Okay. He is the leader of the largest party which is present in the India. So we may say it is a single party, or it may be the coalition party, or it may be the single largest pre-poll alliance as well. So whatever the condition may be, Prime Minister, he is the leader of the largest party in the power. So let us see the appointment process. So if you see the appointment, he is appointed by the President of India. President mainly calls or invites the leader of the single largest party or the leader of the single largest pre-poll alliance, mainly for the stake a claim to form the government. So this sentence is important, that is to stake a claim to form government. If at all that leader of the single largest party accept, then he will become the Prime Minister of the country. So always I say executive is responsible to the legislature. So let us see that condition in the Prime Minister appointment as well. So if you see, Prime Minister within 30 days of time, he should pass majority motion. Okay, he should move the majority motion in Lok Sabha. So if at all this majority motion is passed in the Lok Sabha, then he will continue as a Prime Minister in the India. So after he became the Prime Minister, after passing this majority motion in the Lok Sabha, even President do not have any power to dismiss this Prime Minister from the office. Till whenever this Prime Minister will enjoy a majority in the Lok Sabha, till then President do not have any power to remove this Prime Minister from the office. So who will appoint? Appointed by the President, and the President do not have any power to dismiss or remove the Prime Minister until and unless he is losing the majority in the Lok Sabha. So this is about some of the introduction regarding the Prime Minister. In this lecture, what we are going to see? We are going to see about the appointment process of the Prime Minister, and also oath and affirmation, and also tenure, and what will happen if there is any vacancy. So what will happen if any death happen to the Prime Minister or the ministers in the Union Council of Ministers. And we are also going to see what are the powers of the Prime Minister with respect to Parliament, with respect to President, and also the other powers. So let's get started with our lecture now. So let us see here. If you see here, in the scheme of the parliamentary system of the government, which is provided by the constitution, the president is the nominal executive authority and the prime minister is the real executive authority. So we already saw here, when we are talking about the head of executive, we have the two heads. First one is nominal or formal head of state, and the second one is real executive. Nominal head of the state is the president and the prime minister is the real executive authority, because prime minister takes the real decisions. Okay, so this prime minister elected directly by the people and the president elected indirectly by the people. So because of this, president is called as a nominal executive authority, prime minister is called as a real executive authority. So let us see the appointment of the prime minister. The constitution does not contain any specific procedure for the selection and also appointment of the prime minister. So if you see this article 75, it says only that the prime minister shall be appointed by the president, and our constitution also silent about the specific procedure to appoint the prime minister. So in accordance with the conventions of the parliamentary system of the government, president has to appoint the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha as a prime minister. But when no party has a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, then president may exercise his discretionary power. That is his personal discretion, mainly in the selection and also appointment of the prime minister. So in a such situation, president usually appoints the leader of the largest party or coalition in the Lok Sabha as a prime minister, and also ask him to seek a vote of confidence in the house within a month. Why he need to seek the vote of confidence? Because always I say executive is responsible for legislature, correct? So always executive is responsible to the legislature. So because of this, whenever the prime minister is appointed by the president, he will give the time of 30 days. Within these 30 days, he should pass a majority. Okay, he should pass a majority motion in the Lok Sabha. After the passing of this majority motion in the Lok Sabha, then he will be the prime minister. So he cannot be removed by the president. Okay, and there is also one more situation when the president may have to exercise his individual judgment, that is a personal discretion, mainly in the selection and also the appointment of the prime minister. So what is that situation? When prime minister in his office dies suddenly and there is no obvious successor. So in this time also, in this situation also, president have his discretionary power. And let us see the next one, that is oath, term and salary. Before the prime minister enter upon his office, the president administer him the oath of office and secrecy. So in his oath of office, prime minister swears 4 important things. First one is to bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India. Next one is to uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, to faithfully and conscientiously discharge the duties of his office, and the next one is to do right to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, without fear of favor or affection or ill will. So these are the 4 important things that will be sworn by the Prime Minister of India in his oath of office. And if you see the tenure of the Prime Minister, it is not fixed. He holds the office during the pleasure of President. So when I am saying it is a pleasure of President, President cannot remove him whenever he wants. Okay, so this is the important thing that you should remember. So whenever Prime Minister loses the majority in the Lok Sabha, then only President can remove the Prime Minister from his office. Until and unless Prime Minister enjoys a majority in the Lok Sabha, President cannot remove the Prime Minister. And let us move further. So as long as Prime Minister enjoys a majority support in the Lok Sabha, he cannot be dismissed by the President. However, if he loses the confidence in the Lok Sabha, he must resign or President can dismiss him. So if you see the salary and allowances of the Prime Minister, they are determined by the Parliament time to time. So this is very important prelims fact. So let us see the powers and functions of the Prime Minister. So let us see the first one in relation to the Council of Ministers. Here if you see how this Council of Ministers are formed, let us see this is his Council of Ministers. They contain members, correct? These are the ministers. So if you see these Council of Ministers, they are formed by the union of the ministers, and these ministers are appointed by the President of India but on the aid and advice of the Prime Minister. Okay, so what happens when the minister dies? Nothing will happen. So what happens if the Prime Minister dies? It is a very important thing you should remember regarding the prelims point of view. So let us discuss each of them very detailedly, because this topic is important regarding the prelims. So let us see the first one is the powers regarding the relation to the Council of Ministers. Here Prime Minister enjoys the following powers. That is, the first one is the head of the Union Council of Ministers. So he is the head of the Union Council of Ministers. That means captain of a ship or a moon among the stars. The first important power is he recommends a person who can be appointed as a minister by the President, and President can appoint only those persons as minister who are recommended by the Prime Minister. So these ministers were appointed by the President but on the advice of the Prime Minister. One more important thing here, President can appoint only those persons who are recommended by the Prime Minister. And next one is he allocates and reshuffles the various portfolios among the ministers, and he can ask a minister to resign or advise the President to dismiss in the case of any difference of option. Why? If there is any case of difference of option, here Prime Minister will ask that minister to resign or even advise the Prime Minister to dismiss him. So if you see the Council of Ministers, they have the two responsibilities. We are going to discuss in the next lecture. They have the individual responsibility and also collective responsibility. They have to swim and sing together. So whenever they are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha, all the advices or all the acts which are taken by those ministers should be in accordance with all of them. All of them should follow them. Whether they may be wrong, but they have to support them. If there are any indifference or differences happening between them, then Prime Minister will ask that minister to resign, or even he can advise the Prime Minister to dismiss that minister. And the next one is he presides over the meeting of the Council of Ministers and also influences its decisions. He also guides, directs, controls and coordinates the activities of the ministers, and he can bring up the collapse of the Council of Ministers by resigning from this office. If you see this Council of Ministers here, they contain number of ministers. So who is the head, who is the captain? That is Prime Minister. Whenever Prime Minister is resigning to his office, entire Council of Ministers will collapse. Okay, so this is the important thing again. So if at all there is any resignation or the death of the Prime Minister happened, then automatically it dissolves the Council of the Ministers and it generates a vacuum as well. And if at all any resignation or the death of any minister who is present in the Union Council of Ministers, what happened? That will create just a vacancy in the Union Council of Ministers, but there will be no collapse of the Council of Ministers. So this is the important regarding the prelims fact. So you have to remember these two important points here. So let us see the next powers regarding the relation with the President. The first important one is he is the principal channel of communication between the President and also the Council of Ministers. And the duty of the Prime Minister regarding in the communication between the President and the Council of Ministers include, the first one is to communicate the President regarding all the decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to that of the administration of the Union and also other proposals of the legislation. So it is the important function of the Prime Minister is mainly he should communicate the President all the decisions of the Council of Ministers regarding any affairs of the Union and also any legislation. And the second important one is to furnish such information relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and also regarding the proposals of the legislation as President may call. If at all President may call the Prime Minister regarding any information, such information should be furnished by the Prime Minister to the President. And the next one is if President so requires to submit for the consideration of the Council of Ministers any matter on which the decision has been taken by the ministers but which has not been considered by the Council. So whenever President requires any information regarding anything regarding the Council of Ministers or any other matter which is the decision taken by the minister, but if at all it is not even considered by the Council of Ministers, then that information also should be provided to the President by the Prime Minister. And the next important function is he advises the President with regard to the appointment of the important officials like Attorney General of India, Comptroller Auditor General, that is simply CAG, Chairman and the members of the Union Public Service Commission, Election Commissioners, Chairman and the members of the Finance Commission, and so on. So in this appointment of these important officials also, he advises the President. Prime Minister advises the President. And let us see the powers regarding in relation to the Parliament. If you see the Prime Minister, he is the leader of the lower house. In his capacity, he enjoys the following powers. They include, the first one is he advises the President with regard to the summoning and also proroguing of the sessions of the Parliament. And the next one is he can recommend for the dissolution of the Lok Sabha to the President at any time. And the next one is he announces the government policies on the floor of the House. This is important regarding the relation to the Parliament. You can use this statement whenever you are writing the mains answer. And let us see the other powers and functions. The first one is, in addition to these powers regarding the President, regarding the Council of Ministers, regarding the Parliament, there are also other powers and the functions which are vested with the Prime Minister of India. The first important one is he acts as a chairman of the Niti Aayog and also National Integration Council, Interstate Council, National Water Resource Council, and also some other bodies. For these important bodies, he will act as a chairman. And the next one is he plays a significant role in shaping of the foreign policy of the country. And the next important one is he is a chief spokesman of the Union government. And he is also a crisis manager in chief at the political level during the emergencies. And as a leader of the nation, he meets the various sections of the people in different states and also receives the memorandum from them regarding their problems and also regarding the solutions, so on, etc. Okay, these are some of the important functions. And let us see two more functions. The first one is he is the leader of the party in power and he is the political head of the services as well. Thus, we can see Prime Minister plays a very significant and highly crucial role in the politico-administrative system of the country. So just we have discussed in this lecture about some introduction regarding the Prime Minister. So in the next chapter we are going to discuss Council of Ministers. So if you want to understand this Prime Minister chapter totally, you should link this lecture with the next upcoming lecture, that is about Council of Ministers. Then only this chapter, that is according to the Article 74 and Article 75, will be complete. By this we are concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. Please do like, share and comment my videos. Thank you.